he's got the biggest playpen in the area, and he paid less for this place than what he sold the other one for. But now he's got 80 acres. He's got a lake. He's got a creek. He's got boats. He's got tractors. He's got everything, every tool you can imagine. Especially Tom here, FlipAnything USA. So I'm actually talking to a buddy of mine, Cornelius. We've known each other since like 10 years old. Became better friends around 18 in high school, I'd say, and after. But came from the same small community out there in Lancaster, California. Both of us have benefited tremendously from real estate. Cornelius here is a contractor like me. I got into the cabinet business. He was a general builder. He started building houses, and he started buying spec properties, building homes. I started buying spec properties. I bought a commercial building, for my cabinet shop that I'd started, and he was buying land to build, and he built some homes. He built a few homes.
Yeah, about 25.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, but in the end, we both have made the bulk of our fortune on real estate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's funny, we were partners again on a couple houses that I bought. I don't know, this is like 25 years ago, something like that. And but we were just talking about the money made on those two houses. And he had commented, these are houses that we bought for about 160, 70 and sold them for 430. No, I think we paid like 120 actually, and sold them for like 430. So we each made 100 grand on two different houses. Together between us, we each made 200 grand probably. And he was saying that he had parlayed. You go into the store. You parlayed your profits into what'd you buy?
Yeah, we bought two houses from this older gentleman. He was in his later 90s, or early 90s actually, and he'd been a buddy of mine for 50 years, and he said he didn't really need any more money, and he sold me two houses for $50,000 a piece, which were, it sounds great, but they were totally maintenance deferred. I mean, they needed everything: windows, septic tanks, roofs, everything. But fixed them up. My wife, she's pretty handy at picking out things, and ended up selling both of those. I think one was $430 and the other one was $480. So
you put 50 in each of them at least,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and a lot of work, tree trimming and So, but then sold those and bought a really cool place here in North Idaho.
Yeah, and so check it out. By buying two houses, that paid for about 2/3 roughly of the place we're sitting in.
Paid for all of it.
Paid for all of it. Wow. And so he sold that place in the what I just told you, where guys are dumping shit next to his place. He sold that for like $900,000. And now check that out. That was on 2.5 acres. Look at this. Look at behind me here. He's got 80 acres of paradise here now. And you look up the hill here. Look at that. He's got a 10,000 square foot outbuilding. That one's, just beautiful. He's got an amazing, that's just one of a couple of buildings. But that building now, he's got the biggest playpen in the area, and he paid less for this place than what he sold the other one for. But now he's got 80 acres. He's got a lake. He's got a creek. He's got boats. He's got tractors. He's got everything, every tool you can imagine, especially he comes from a farm background anyway. So, he's got motocross, Cornelius is a great motocross rider. Goes, what do you got, 16 motorcycles or something now?
Well, I don't know. My mom used to count them for me. So.
Yeah, I was in there the other day. He's got, all the most beautiful KTM bikes, BMWs for street biking. His wife's got a Goldwing. Just living the dream. And really, he, like myself, hard workers, but the bulk of our wealth is from real estate. If you're watching, hit that subscribe button. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. Get into the mentorship. Look at how many millionaires, how many multimillionaires now I have that have become multimillionaires just since being in my mentorship in the last 2 years.
Real estate by far was the easiest way to make.
Yeah, and so when you agree, like I tell my students in the class and people that come in, I say, look, number one, you got to get a skill. And I'm not talking about real estate skill is a good skill too. Don't get me wrong, you can be a realtor for that matter. But get a skill where you can make money. He can make money anywhere. Tractor, grader, crane, whatever. He can operate anything. People need dirt moved everywhere you go. Pipelines put in, underground utilities. Same thing. Carpenter, you can be a carpenter. You can contract build. I mean, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You got to have your base income coming in, but it's what you do with that money, and be frugal with it and careful with it, and then parlay that into real estate. What would you tell anybody? What do you tell your kids? He's got 5 kids, by the way.
5 girls.
Yeah, 5 girls.
Yeah. Be frugal. I'm a Dutchman, and my parents immigrated from the Netherlands, and they had nothing, and they saved money and tried to spend it wisely, and so spend it wisely and invest wisely.
Yeah. This is what I want my legacy to be, is just teaching people what I know, because there's not a better way to go out for me than to know that I'm helping people. And like I say, when I see these guys starting to have the ability like I have had for a long time, writing checks for tuition, writing checks for cars, writing checks for houses and buildings and that sort of thing, and knowing that you can retire comfortably, and knowing that you're going to leave more for your kids if your kids need it. Maybe they'll never need the money you leave behind, but if they do, it's there. It makes you feel better, right? And but also just knowing that you're helping other people, get somewhere. So, anyways, thanks, Cornelius.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. It's been fantastic.
Thank you for coming to visit.
Yep. I hadn't seen him in a while. How long you been here? 2 years now?
2 years.
So yeah, this is my first visit here since he's got here.
Yeah.
And again, I'll let you guys cover here just to see a quick view out here again. I mean, this is gorgeous. 80 acres, beautiful mountains, and I'm telling you, looking here, this is like a wood cabin. It's a wood house. It's huge. It's a kit house. We sat in the jacuzzi out here this morning, and that was awesome. And but yeah, it's just a wonderful thing. So hey, again, hit that subscribe button. And hit that like button. But number one, get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate, for 10, 15 bucks. And you can send the thing back. I mean, that book is worth more than the courses I see for 10 grand that other people are selling out on here. Hey, so that's it. Again, thank you, Corny.
You're welcome. I'm not used to being on TV, so.
Yeah. How do you say goodbye in Dutch?
Tot ziens.
Tot ziens. Yep, tot ziens.